Wicked Smart Podcast. We're going live, baby.
Right. Every model is going to be not only hopefully an improvement over the other model, but also there's these different components inside the model. So this is not perfectly analogous. So I understand that because we're talking about training versus machinery. But and by the way, when I say the machine, I'm being completely like I'm using that as a metaphor, but as a weak analogy to what it really is. But if you think of it, the model cars help me understand this a little bit. Like you look at all the models of, like if you look at vets, for example, there's the models that the vet today looks a certain way. The vet 10 years ago looked a certain way. The vet in 1965 looked like sweet, so yeah. So, but look, it's interesting that we as humans can go back and go, man, I have 63 vet or whatever you want is something I would cost $1 million versus the ones today, right? So sometimes in cars, the models you can actually go back and what the models prefer. But preferably as these models improve, it's like the iPhone. Very few people go, man, I wish I could go back to the iPhone 4. Mm-hmm. I mean, no one I know on the planet is saying that, right? Right. So that's kind of how I look at models as far as like from a practical point of view. It's like, well, it's a better, more improved version. In a technical point of view, Mike is correct. It's training. The training of the model is completely different. The divisions of the experts are different. A lot of times the data are different. Like, but here's Mike. I think you and I would agree on this as well. There's only so much data
we ran out of data, so now they're using synthetic data. So
right.
What's happening is like when you look at like how Cursor released their model called Composer 2, like it's a really, really good model. And so somebody asked it a question and wouldn't answer, and they finally cracked it, and it was like, oh, I'm Kimi K2. And then we're like, people like, hey, Cursor, you friggin' said you did all this stuff. You're using Kimi K2, the open source that came out 2 months ago. And like, all right, you caught us. And then so not only did they do that, but they were taking all of the output that you were cursing and saying, this is horrible. And then when you like it, you say, good, commit it to GitHub. So they were taking all the final commits and then retraining that data because it's synthetic data. So we're actually taking the output of the language that comes when we have a conversation with it. And ChatGPT says, which answer did you like better? This one. Oh, great. They're creating their own data. Sometimes they give you 2 images. Yeah. Which one did you like better? That's synthetic data. You're saying, train the model more like this. In fact, one last thing.
I was going to say, Mike, as far as copywriting goes, that's very much like inbreeding. I mean, that is like cousins marrying cousins, man. That's not a good thing. So that's why the copywriting gets worse sometimes when the models come out that are new. It's like, what the hell happened to open source? Well, it's like because their models it's cousins marrying cousins, and you have to go back and retrain it and stuff like that. So,
yeah, man. And so when it comes to
let me say this, man. To
last thing on that,
so, you guys are
Todd, just before you put a cap on it, I just want to wrap up the models thing. So the models have different things. There's the language model, right? There's the vision model. There's the audio model. There's text to speech, speech to text. And at the end of the day, what they're trying to create now are not these patched up where they call that this is an Omni model. They're trying to actually create a world model that is one model, like we are as humans. That is all at the same time, taking in audio, visual in real time. Like what was happening a year ago when you would talk to something on the phone, it would take your voice, do speech to text, process that as a language model, respond back in something, take that and turn it into text to speech and respond back to you. What's happening now is the tokens are going in from your voice in real time and then coming back to you. And the latency, it's not even about latency. It's becoming an actual voice listening language model. Then you're going to put in physics and speech and vision and all these different things, and they're going to get them into these robots and create them, because a robot needs all of these different things, and it needs touch. It needs to be able to come. Like I can do this to somebody really fast, but I just know by the time I get here, I can tap you. Now, if you get this 250-pound robot to come over and like hand you coffee, like it could break an old lady's arm. So they got to break all of these things, and these are the advanced models, and they're going to figure it all out. And they already are. I
can't wait for my own robot, man.
The Wicked Smart Podcast. We're going live, baby. The Wicked Smart Podcast. We're dropping truth, baby. Big ideas and fearless truth hits hard right from the start.